Hello, I am here to bring you the latest breaking news. As you may have already seen in this news cycle, we are speaking to someone today who has witnessed something truly atrocious, terrifying. If there are small children around, you may want to have them leave the room or wherever it is that you are. This is not for the faint of heart, people. Describe for the audience at home what you saw.
Well, I saw it and it was just so awful. I didn't understand.
And how did that make you feel?
I couldn't even think for a minute. Just so hideous to look at. I just thought, how can something be so ugly and pointless at the same time? I thought a Mary Jo Putney step back would be wonderful, but look at this.
How is this even allowed to happen? Hi, my name's Bea. Welcome to my channel, Mama Needs to Read Romance, and share a book haul with you that is full of gorgeous stepbacks. Not like the one I just showed you. Hi there. Could I be more excited about this book haul? No, I could not. I have been waiting to do this for quite some time, compiling a giant stack of used historical romance with stepbacks. Some of these will be featured in my 100 stepbacks of summer. So you can place your bets if you want to tell me what you think you're going to be seeing later this summer. I cannot wait. I actually have 3 from one of my favorite authors of all time, Lisa Kleypas. Let's talk about those right now. I previously had The Devil in Spring, but the cover always bothered me. Again, I get all these used for like 50 cents a piece. So when I was able to get this one, I couldn't help myself. Let's take a look at the step back. We are getting a chance now to ogle the gorgeous Gabriel, Lord St. Vincent. This is the son of Evie and Sebastian from the Wallflowers book. Oh my gosh, he's so gorgeous. And then we have Pandora, who is one of the twins in the Ravenel series by Lisa Kleypas, much beloved. This gorgeous step back always gives me goosebumps. The way that they're looking at each other, the way he's holding her so reverently. I'm getting those spring vibes. A little bit of winter too though, but I feel like that's appropriate because he's the son of the couple from Devil in Winter. So I feel like I'm getting winter vibes a little bit, but also spring with these gorgeous petals. And we see it again on the cover too. Pandora, so lovely, so strong. And I'm so here for it, and I'm thrilled that I got a better copy with a better cover. I did have already, this is the redo of Only in Your Arms. However, when I found that there is a copy with a step back, I just about lost my mind. Let's take a look at this couple. I'm going crazy here, guys. This almost looks like a cloak that he's taking off, and I cannot wait to read the Valoran series and compare this book with its original, Only in Your Arms. So, I already owned the first Capitol Theater series book by Lisa Kleypas, Somewhere I'll Find You, which was fine, but I just recently discovered it for 25 cents at a used bookstore. I love the way this is cut out. Can you appreciate this? It's so gorgeous. And check out the inside. Notice how we've got roses here and they convey into this incredible step back. Look at how the wind hits the ribbon of her dress. Oh my gosh, I love everything about this. I love how you wouldn't even notice the blue sky because of the way that the cover is. But then we've got those rolling white fluffy clouds, blue sky, and a couple getting ready to kiss. It is heavenly. Notice in the background, we've got the rolling countryside and a beautiful manor house, it looks like. I cannot wait to dive into the Capitol Theater series. And getting this book makes me even more excited. Speaking of exciting, you're not going to believe this. I actually have 5 Sarah MacLeans to tell you about. She is so hard to find used. People never want to get rid of her books. So when I was able to find all of these used with stepbacks, I was losing my mind. I'm actually going to start with The Day of the Duchess, which is book 3 of Scandal and Scoundrels series. Now, what's so cool about this is one of Crystal's favorite books. Why do I mention Crystal? She is hosting the Ever After Readathon. It's a historical romance readathon for the second 2 weeks of May. This is one of her favorite books of all time. And let me tell you something. When I saw this step back, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm absolutely 100% adding this to my TBR. I'm obsessed. Check this out. Not only is this incredibly intimate, the way he is so reverently, I feel like he's worshiping her. Do you know what this reminds me of? There's a scene in a contemporary romance by Christina Lauren, Love and Other Words, that very much looks like this. Somebody told me there's grade A groveling in it as well, and I thought, well, I love a good grovel, so I am all in, and I can't wait to read this. So what's so cool is also I have book 1 of Scandal and Scoundrel and book 2. There's only 3, so I have all 3 in the series. How cool. So let's talk about book 1, The Rogue Not Taken. What a title. I am crushing hard on this cover too. Check out all the flowers. It looks like a winter's evening out there. And then here we have her with a book. Let's check out the step back. Looks like a super fun forced proximity / road trip. I love a good road trip. She's trying to get away from Scandal and winds up in a carriage with it as she's stowing away. Say less. And then we talk about book 2. Wait until you see what they do with this cover. Check it out. We see it again in this painting. And I'm going to do a super close up if I can do it without blurring. There is the painting. Exactly the same as the cover. So we're looking at the painting here, and then we have this gorgeousness going on. Of course, our heroine falls in love with a painter. He paints her scandalous portrait, but then leaves. She then finds another man who might be wanting to just get rid of her, but I think that as they get together, something else unfolds. I already own books 3 and 4 of the Rules of Scoundrels series, so I was very, very excited to get my hands on books 1 and 2 in great condition with gorgeous step back. Let's talk about the first book in the series right now, A Rogue by Any Other Name. Loving the dress, loving the colors. I see we went with nothing but red. Oh, and you know what? I love how we've also got the same flower that she's holding here is also here, which is awesome. And then we see this. Let's see if these two are going to be in the step back. Ah, yes. We're still going with that red staircase. We have the owner of a gaming club who needs to get his inheritance, and the only way to do that is by marrying our heroine here. She wants danger and he wants to keep her out of it, but let's see what happens in this book. I am loving this one too. Here's the second book of the series. We see a gal at her desk, which I love that. And she's got some glasses here. You know what this is reminding me of? In the 4th book of the Hathaway series, Married by Morning, we have glasses as well. So I'm excited about the glasses here. And we see them again in the step back. I love the serene look on both of their faces, the way they comfort one another. And the other thing, I don't see a lot of black dresses. And as much as I'm not really into the color black, there's something so dramatic about black. Anytime I see a historical romance with a black dress, cover, step back, what have you, I always end up going for it and buying it because I'm just so enthralled by the color. I love this. It says, the brilliant, bespectacled daughter of a double marquis cares more for books than balls, for science than the season, and for laboratories than love. Obviously, we know that something else is going to happen, but I love a brainy gal. I was able to score step backs of 3 of the at least 12 of the Montgomery Taggart series by Jude Devereaux, and I could not wait to show these to you. This is book 11. Look at this cameo necklace on the front. I love that. And this flower, I love it. We've got the raised lettering, the gold foiling. I love the gold braiding down the side. Oh my gosh, gorgeous. Then we are treated to a full page, both sides, step back. I am in awe. The art is also taking me back. It's very vintage. This book, by the way, is courtesy of 1988, in case you were wondering what year. So this one is actually set in the West on a ranch. He wants to show her love. He draws her into a world of sensual pleasure, of sumptuous meals and moonlit dances, carefree laughter and stolen kisses. Yes, please. Even just the sumptuous meals. All right. Oh, let's talk about this one. Oh my gosh, The Maiden by Jude Devereaux. This is book 12 of the Montgomery Taggart series. We're in a totally different place here. As you can see in this cameo, this is about a knight. We have a man and woman that fell in love when he was just a knight. They have an incredible tryst, and then he goes off, later defeats her brother to become king, and she's supposed to marry him, but she hates him. It's giving me Tristan and Isolde vibes. I am dying to read this, even though it looks like he is wearing the kind of leggings that I wore in the 80s. Oh my gosh, the princess. Look at this gorgeous necklace, obviously that a princess would wear. This flower, I think, is representing the fact that she gets washed up on the Florida Keys and is rescued. Are you ready for this? Get ready. By a Navy man in America obviously in the Florida Keys. She has to choose between loving him and her destiny of basically becoming queen. I am so in love with this stepback. Again, we've got another full page. We got the back cover and its own page. I love these. And the waves rolling in. The hair. Good night. I mean, come on. And he's just wearing like navy slacks. I mean, what are we going to do, people? What are we going to do? I love the gold braiding again on the side. Oh, it's just, I need to read this right now. I need to read it now. By the way, guys, I'm sorry so much about the glare. I've been needing my glasses lately, and I know they're glary, if that's a word. So I'm hopefully going to go to the eye doctor and see if I can get some glasses that aren't going to be crazy glare, because I think I just need glasses more lately. Anyway, speaking of books that I need to read now, we'll talk about books that I have been reading. Elizabeth Hoyt, I got 2 with some gorgeous stepbacks. She, you may remember, is the one who fakes us out. Looks like the cover is cut shorter with this border here. Usually that's an indicator that there is indeed a stepback, but then you find out that no, the border is built into the front of the cover. But then we're surprised again when we find, oh my gosh, 2-pager here. Gorgeous, so beautiful. This garden is killing me. This, by the way, is book 6 of the Maiden Lane series. This is the Duke of Midnight. Well, Maximus is essentially like a modern day Batman. He's lost his parents and his way and his manners, apparently, but he finds love in a woman who's a companion to the woman he's supposed to be marrying, Artemis. And so we see the 2 of them here in the garden, similar to an actual scene in this book. Yes, I read this one recently, so I can tell you, I love this art and I love the dress and I love, well, one of the members of the couple. I really want to read The Legend of the Four Soldiers. I've now got all 4 books in the series, and I was really, really excited to find this stepback. I've actually seen this stepback quite a few times because it is just heaven. Get ready. Is this not so beautiful? I love the look on his face, how he's totally engrossed in loving her. The hand placement might be a little scandalous, but don't mind it. I love the way they're sitting. I love her dress. I love the rolling countryside behind him. This is heaven, and he is adorable too, so that doesn't hurt. I am excited to read this entire series about 4 soldiers who eventually find love after having been through it. I can't wait to look at this stepback even more. Someone that I've really been wanting to read that I've heard fabulous things about is Kathy Maxwell, and I have 3 of her stepbacks to share with you right now. So let's talk about the Marrying the Duke series. I love this. We've got The Fairest of Them All. This is book 2 of the series. The thing that makes me fascinated about this, look at her gown. So it's almost like a gray. These are leaves, it appears, on the shoulders. You'll see this in here as well. He looks conflicted though, and I think he has good reason. She's trying to figure out whether she's supposed to be marrying him or his twin brother. Not only that, she has been stealing, and it's one of the twins that caught her. She's not sure which one. So it seems like quite the plot. Man, does this one look good. This is Lion's Bride, the Chat and Curse series. This is book 1 of the series. First, he's gorgeous. And I love the purple. Not enough purple though, right? As you can tell, I do enjoy some purple. Anyway, I wish we could see more of the gown in the step bag. It's kind of unfortunate. I do love the abs though. There must be a gym back in the 1800s. Apparently there's a curse in the men in his family. Every time they fall in love, they then drop dead. So he needs to get married and find an heir without falling in love. He finds one of his dearest, oldest friends who happens to be in love with him. She's a matchmaker, by the way. He tasks her with helping him discover a woman who could be with him. But she loves him. What's gonna happen? Oh, it sounds so good. Love this. Look at this cover. The wedding dress is coming off and there's a secret key for The Price of Indiscretion, which is book 2 of the Cameron Sisters series. Get ready for a gorgeous step back. Oh my gosh, I am so in love. What a beautiful bed. I am in love with this canopy. It's so nice and big and bright. And the tagline, passion always has its price. This story just squeezes my heart. We have two people who had been in love. He thinks, though, that she is only interested in a man with money now. He was the son of a general, almost got himself killed for her at one point. But now, to help her sisters out, she has to just try to find a good match, one that has plenty of money. He doesn't realize it, though, and the two of them become intertwined and feelings happen, and it looks so good. Recently on my live with Tara, which I have linked here, I hope you don't mind, Tara, we were talking about Sophie Jordan. We're going to be buddy reading while the Duke was sleeping during the Ever After readathon. So I was especially excited to grab two different books by Sophie Jordan that I wanted to share with you today. As you can see, some of these are old library books that don't circulate as much anymore, so they just go ahead and sell them for 50 cents, and I'm more than happy to snap them up. But taking off the stickers sometimes ruins the book, so I opted not to do that. Since I'm holding this one already, let's talk about How to Lose a Bride in One Night, which is part of the Forgotten Princesses series. We see a woman running away Cinderella style, but instead of leaving a shoe behind, it is her bouquet. Then I love this. We have the same steps and the same bouquet in disarray. It says when she was tossed over the side of her honeymoon barge, the newly minted Duchess knows she's been left for dead. Yikes. Her husband, who was awful, only wanted her for her dowry, but the man who rescues her wants her for something else, her heart. What were you thinking I was going to say? Of course it's her heart. This one looks fun. All the Ways to Ruin a Rogue. This is part of the debutante files. We have a woman who just enjoys getting under the skin of Max, who she sort of loves but can't stand at the same time. I love her gown. The background kind of reminds me of a flower, but I love the tagline here. She's the lady most likely to drive him mad. With desire. And doing things like throwing punch in his face, apparently. He decides to stop her the only way he can one night, and of course that is how? With a kiss, of course. And it all goes from there. Now we need to read it. So recently I did a live show with Tara and Joanna where I opened a bag of books. I've got it linked here. The bag I bought for $1 of historical romances. I did not know what was in it. And I opened it live and it was so much fun. One of the books is actually in this stack because what I discovered is I didn't know who Elaine Kaufman was, but the gal has some stepbacks. So we are going to look at these stepbacks right now. I'll start with the one that I found in the bag that was incredible, but with a very problematic storyline. If you love me, get ready for the step back to end all stepbacks. Similar to the Sarah McLean one we saw earlier, we have a painting in the background. Not only that, we have a gorgeous waterfall. We have trees. We have a couple. Oh my gosh, there's just so much going on here that I love. And then we get to the story and we're like, don't love it. He sort of rescues her kind of from being passed around from tribe to tribe of Native Americans. Then he takes her, marries her, moves her to England, gets her pregnant with twins, and leaves her. And now he's back and he's trying to win her back. What? Why? This poor woman. I don't know. But I love the step back. I just think having the painting is another level. Don't know that I will ever read this. If you have read it, please leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the story. Here we have book 1 of the Italian Chronicles. This is The Fifth Daughter. This is raised, by the way. We've got the gold foiling, the raised lettering. We love it so much. We've got some ships in the background. These are grapes. If I didn't just say that, I think I did. Then we have, it's interesting, again, just like in Elizabeth Hoyt, we have the fake out here with the border. But we actually do have an incredible step back. You see a palace overhead. We also get a ballroom. And of course, in the foreground is a gorgeous couple here. Look at that uniform. Oh my gosh. And her dress. It's hard to find anything I don't absolutely adore about this step back. Again, I'm not sure if the story is really hitting for me. Their childhood friends turned marriage of convenience where they have a night of passion, but then he goes back to the Navy. Yes, he's the Navy man again. It says here that she finally decides to love him, but is it too late? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not super feeling the plot, so I don't know. If you've read The Fifth Daughter, Do let me know in the comments what you thought. Here's a standalone by Elaine Kaufman that, again, I was blown away. Look at this gorgeous border right here. We've got flowers, a time for roses, roses on the cover. Again, raised lettering, gold foiling, just beautiful. And then we open it and find just gorgeous. I mean, look at this. The flowers, the trees, the palace in the background. There's so much going on here. It says she gave him love and he betrayed her. Again, he discovers too late that he cannot live without her. I don't know what it is about the men in these books. They just leave and then they go, wait, I shouldn't have left. Here comes another gorgeous one. This is book 4 of the McKinnons. So this is love. Again, you can already tell that this is going to be an incredible step back. And I love the flowers. Get ready. Again, I'm just getting blown away by the way they use the flowers and the art. This says springtime so much. It's so perfect for this time of year. I love it. The only thing I don't love about this is the belted jeans. Let's glance and see what year this was done in. If you said 1993, you would be right. I just realized this too. This looks like a haunted house. And I am super here for that. So again, I'm getting the sense that she might not be the author for me. We have a woman who, poor thing, she's homeless. She's got 3 kids. He wants a virgin, apparently. And she has love in her past. He just wants an ornament, but apparently she proves to be more than that. Even once he's married her and taken him to his redwood forest where he's like king in America, he's determined to show her that he does not care until danger comes knocking, and then he has to care. So I just love these so much. I just don't know if I square with these stories. Has that ever happened to you where you really love the cover or the step back, but the plot isn't all you had hoped it would be? First of all, oh my gosh, it's hard to even think when you see just how insanely gorgeous this cover is. I'm sorry for the glare, but I want you to see that this is essentially like a mirror. You can see my fingers in the reflection. How cool is that? And then we can also see some of the flowers in the step back. Oh my gosh, this is just incredible. I've never actually seen anything quite like this. It looks like something a bride would wear on her wedding day, perhaps. And we've got the heather. The book I just talked about, we had a Scottish woman coming to the US, but here we have a guy from Texas in the United States coming to Scotland. He declares his love for a woman, which is apparently not done, especially because she's betrothed to another man who she hates. It sounds fascinating, and I'm finding it very interesting that we continually seem to be linking in these Elaine Kaufman books, Scotland and the West in America. Fascinating. Here comes another one set in Scotland. Elaine Kaufman, Let Me Be Your Hero. We have a castle in the background. I love the sword. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. This is kind of fascinating. We've got the tartan going on the side. It matches his kilt. The sun shining off of the sword. The background is a little odd to me. It looks like they've warped an image of the woods. It's sort of fascinating though. And I love her dress. I almost feel like we're picking up hints of the same purple from her dress and my nail. I would essentially call this a story of treachery versus loyalty, enemies to lovers, literally between clans. It looks gripping. Another one set in Scotland, simply titled The Highlander. Now we have the heather around the sword, another castle in the background, and again we've got the tartan in the back. I am so in love with his pose. I don't think I've ever seen a pose like this. It's almost like ballet. It's poetry. It's beautiful. And the way that she is gripping onto him, I'm just so enthralled with this picture. This is James. What's interesting is she's discovered on the shores of Scotland right under his castle by James's brother Tavish. Tavish finds her naked and she's French. She's actually the granddaughter of Louis XIV and she's supposed to be marrying an English king who she hates. Tavish says she's too much woman for me, so he hands her off to James. I'm confused as to why someone else found her. It's kind of an odd choice. At least she finds happiness and love with James. Here's a standalone by Elaine Kaufman. We get art by Pino. I love the flowers. I love the dress. And I feel like I've seen this model quite a few times. So if I see him again, I'm going to point him out to you. This one is set in Texas again. And a woman who believes she's going to be a spinster winds up finding love. Another woman whose stepbacks never disappoint is Heather Graham. And we're going to talk about 4 of her books right now. This one looks gorgeous. Triumph. I love how they've centered this and put soft focus on the image of these two in the water. He is a Union soldier. She is from the South. The two of them fall in love, and these literal enemies to lovers create a tale that looks really exciting. Here is book 4 of that same series, Surrender. Bold, bold colors on the front with a heron. I love the Spanish moss hanging along the trees. I see that when I venture further south myself. We also have, again, a heron or a crane flying in the background, but we are definitely in the swamplands, as we've seen in some of the other art done, I believe, by Pino. This we see Pino is back again for yet another step back. He is actually a Confederate sea captain who was living behind state lines. She's from the north and went into enemy territory and was captured by him. Again, we've got enemies to lovers here. Looks very interesting. Man, this one looks, again, epic. We've got And One Road West. Looking at this gorgeous cover, we have a step back that just keeps going. And I honestly, you could use that as a bookmark, really, but I don't want to rip it off. She was of the Confederacy. He was Union. As you can see, he still is. She winds up marrying him just to save her plantation home, and then they wind up riding out west together and discover Native Americans, buffalo. For anyone that enjoys this period of history, it looks like it's filled with incredible tales of the Midwest and love. I fell in love with this step back, but I do wonder about this plot. Look how gorgeous this is. He won her in a game of cards and then takes her to live with him in the wilds of Florida. She doesn't tell him, though, that he is part Seminole Native American. At some point, though, it's going to come out, and it is dangerous. I love the fact that yet again we seem to be near the swampland in Florida. You can almost see the alligators swimming nearby. Another person who never disappoints with her stepbacks is Virginia Henley. I have 4 here to show you right now. This is fascinating. This is Standalone Enticed, which not only has a step back in the front, we also get one in the back with a pull out, I guess, bookmark. I love the flowers here. So lovely. Matches our author's outfit quite well. Then let's look at the cover here. Again, we see the same flower. This is set in Ireland. We have a man who has all the money and an Irish lass whose family is suffering from famine. She is actually a gypsy. So when she encounters all that this man has to offer, it's hard for her to say no. But one day she loses trust in him and disappears, but he is determined to have her. This is so cute. Ravished by Virginia Henley. I love the way, you'll see this in a couple books. We've got the cutout part of the cover that's only half of the book, but you can still tell there's the step back. Look how cute this is. I love the adoring way that they are looking at one another as she gives him a bath. We've got candlelight in the background, double page, and there's even tea. This just looks so cozy and steamy at the same time. This book is all about a woman who is supposed to marry another man, but is actually infatuated with someone else. The someone else is his brother. Here we go, another brother romance. Gotta love it so much. She doesn't realize that the brother only wants her for her money. He's gotta find a way to protect her without falling. Looks hard. Here we have Infamous. I love the blue of this. Notice there's a mirror in the background. We've got curtains and a couple. Get ready. Here's the mirror again and some very carefully draped curtains. These candles aren't the only thing that's hot. What is fascinating about this is we find a woman who is so in love with a man who her family has convinced her that he has betrayed her. I adored this too. I know you can't really necessarily tell. I'm going to show a really big close-up. We have dots here. This is actually how the painting is done. You can feel the bumps, which is really, really neat. I love the castle in the background of this book, The Marriage Prize. Looking at this is just gorgeous. We see a knight and his fair maiden in an embrace. Look at that sword. I love the castle in the background. We have a gorgeous archway and some beautiful flowers. I love the crown of flowers around her head. Just lovely. He has to work very hard to win her heart. She's just so reluctant, and when he finally wins her over, he is called into battle. What is she to do now? 3 books here for you by Shannon Drake. I'm saving my favorite for last. This is Wicked. He is trying to discover the whereabouts of some Egyptian artifacts that had gone missing. She discovers him as he is attempting to steal them from her. He's wearing a mask and apparently his face is supposedly too ugly to even show. So this is giving me Phantom of the Opera, Beauty and the Beast type vibes. I love any story that includes Egyptian artifacts. How cool. In Shannon Drake's Come the Morning, we have another tale of a knight and a maiden, but this is no damsel in distress. She is a fighter as well, which I love. She is apparently torn between defiance and devotion. She can wield a sword like none other, but we'll see if they end up facing off too. I love everything in the foreground, but also don't miss out on the fire in the background, and especially look at this beautiful moonlit night and the castle outside the window. So gorgeous. Sorry, I'm like covering half of it with my hand. Don't forget to look at this step back. Whoops. Comes my favorite of the 3, Damsel in Distress by Shannon Drake. I bet you've seen this cover. These are raised, by the way. They're so gorgeous. I love them so much. I love her makeup too. I could not pull off blue eyeshadow like that if I tried. But let's look inside. Guess who that is, everybody? If you said Fabio, you are correct. Yes, and we are busting out of our top too a little bit here. A little scandalous dress, if I do say so myself. Love the background, the purple, and of course the wind-blown hair. Gotta have that. And the foreground, love these flowers. Oh my gosh, I just noticed her sleeves. Wow. This is a gown. And again, the blue eyeshadow. Holy cow. It's funny that I said something about not a damsel in distress because literally it says here, a damsel in distress, a dashing knight, a timeless love. I think that pretty much says it all. I love it. Another author I love is Mary Jo Putney. Let's talk about the 2 stepbacks I got from her. There's some interesting stuff going on here that I can't wait to share with you. So here is Mary Jo Putney's Not Always a Saint. Here's something fascinating. I don't know how I even remembered this because I don't have anything close to a photographic memory, but I want to show you something. I was looking at this cover and I thought, you know, that gal really looks familiar to me. Anything look familiar? Joanna Shoop's The Lady Hellion and Mary Jo Putney's Not Always a Saint. It's exactly the same face. The hair's a little different. Obviously, the dress is somewhat different, but I'm not just making this up, right? This is exactly the same pose in the face, at least. Correct? I mean, the fact that I noticed it. Anyway, so there you have it. That was kind of interesting to me. I've never noticed that before, but now let's look at the step back. I mean, I love a good landscape, but still, I would also have been thrilled to see a couple embracing an unending love. Kind of fascinating, actually, the plot of this. I don't know whether to show you the cover or the the step back. We have a man who's inherited a lot of land. He needs to marry someone who can run the land for him, basically because he wants to be a doctor. He's not really interested in the land at all or really being married, but then he starts to become infatuated with the woman that he's chosen. And the problem is, though, if he finds out who she really is, things are going to get messy. I know who she really is. She's really this girl. Maybe. You also saw this step back at the beginning of my video. Once a scoundrel. What? Why? The fountain isn't even working. Who brainstormed this idea? I don't understand. What would be a better choice? Not to have a step back at all than to get our hopes up and then show us this. I don't get it. Do you even want me to tell you what this book is about? Do we want to look at this anymore? I'm closing it. This is much better. We have a woman who is a pirate. So apparently she was supposed to potentially become a harem slave after being captured by pirates off the Barbary coast until someone from the Navy rescues her and love ensues. This looks crazy. It's also part of the Rogues Redeemed series. Kat Martin's stepbacks are also often fabulous, so I was so excited to nab 3 of these to share with you now. In Heart of Honor by Kat Martin, we see a gorgeous gown. There's a woman penning a letter with her quill. I love the necklace that they include in the background. Just so lovely with a beautiful view. Then we get inside the home. It looks like it's slightly different color, actually. We've got like a bluish, and now this one's more of a lavender. But inside a home, we find a couple who are enraptured with one another, caught in the throes of passion. Yes, I said it, the throes of passion. This woman, by the way, I love that they included her writing because she is a published publisher of the weekly London Ladies Gazette, Heart to Heart. She's not afraid to speak her mind, which I love. Here we find a powerful Viking descendant, by the way, which if anyone who enjoys Viking or Viking Light, this might be the book for you. She tries to deny her attraction to the Nordic chief, but has a great deal of difficulty, as you can see. When you think Heartless, you might think Elsie Silver, but I've got Kat Martin's Heartless. And here we have a necklace with a locket that is in the shape of a heart. Let's look inside to see even more. We've got some tight pants. Which, again, not mad about it. And a beautiful room at night. I love how shiny and gorgeous her hair is. We see some gorgeous skin. I'm like hiding behind the books, partly to try to avoid this glare, but I'm like, hey, here I'm talking half of me. Is that awkward? Yes, it is. Let's just say it. Anyway, we have books in the foreground, a beautiful flower, but a couple embracing, and you can tell by the look on his face, he is gonna take her down in a good way. She's a poor tenant farmer's daughter who wants lessons and refinement, and the only way to do that is to agree to become his mistress, but then obviously she becomes something much more. And here's my favorite cover and step back by Kat Martin in this collection, at least. Look at this. And again, it's raised. We've got the gold foiling. This is just incredible. Look at the detail on this diamond encrusted bird. Good grief. Let's go back to the step back. Again, we've got a full page. This is just heaven. I adore the dress. I adore him. The way that he is just barely about to kiss her. Oh, it's so heavenly. I love the pose, the sunset in the background, and the castle. Oh, it's so gorgeous. This sounds so incredible. I'm going to read the step back. You know I never do that. I'm doing it now. Damien Lord Fallon made his ruthless proposal to Alexa Garrick at the gaming table where he cheated the exquisite young heiress out of a fortune. One night with him would discharge her debt. Yet, as he claimed his prize, the handsome Earl fought a craving for more than Alexa's body. When a twist of fate turned seduction into matrimony, rapture and rage warred within him. How could he love the woman whose flirtations had destroyed his brother? What? Alexa knew of Damien's French blood, his scandalous liaisons, and the whispers that branded him a smuggler. She was playing with fire. The dark, devilish Earl's hungry embrace plucked at her heartstrings with a haunting song of desire. I almost accidentally said plucked at her hamstrings. Ha! That would be different. She just needs to stretch. But was Damien spinning a web of deceit and treason as he brought her to his surf-swept castle? From London's glitter to the dangerous decadence of Napoleon's Paris, Kat Martin will dazzle you with her richest, most sensuous romance ever. Yes! I've always wanted to read Elizabeth Boyle, and when I saw these covers and step backs, I thought, oh my gosh, gotta get them. Remember how earlier I told you that I was obsessed with black dresses? I don't know why. Again, like I'm not into black per se, but there's something about the drama of a black dress. And here we have it juxtaposed with the white of the gloves, the white of the flowers. So gorgeous. The necklace as well. We've got pearls going, or is it diamonds? Diamonds. This is Confessions of a Little Black Gown. Oh my gosh, how perfect. Even on the back, we see a woman who looks intense, ready to make a confession, I assume. Let's take a look at the step back. Oh my gosh, I love the drama. It does seem to be bleeding into the cover actually, which I do love, but obviously we also see a silver border here, which I find to be just gorgeous. These colors, I love this too. She is intrigued by him. He's supposed to be like a farmer. He's a cousin. He's supposed to be nobody, but he's actually a master spy. He's trying to keep her from being intrigued by him, but obviously it's not working out. Love it. Here we have the Viscount who lived down the lane. I love this title. And here we have the lane and everything. And this poor guy's shirt is blowing off. This must be a very breezy lane. Also, I love the name of the series, Rhymes with Love. Then we get a even more windswept step back. Again, we've got this manor house in the background and their clothes are just blowing off. It's very dangerous. Apparently there's a hurricane in 19th century England. We've got forced proximity here, folks. She marches into this house, which I guess they both believe is theirs. She's trying to basically clean up and find her cat. It's gotta be better than that, but this is what I gleaned from the back. So if you've read it, let me know. Is it more about cleaning and finding a cat? I'm gonna go with yes. Here's another book from the Rhymes with Love series, The Knave of Hearts. I love, again, the raised lettering. We've got some gorgeous red. I love the red and gold, the way they use the colors. I just find it gorgeous. And then we've got the gold along the border here as well. to reveal a gorgeous step back I'm loving. We've got some blue now this time finally, and some clothes that have fallen right off. Look at these biceps, my heavens. Yummy is I think what People magazine referred to them as. No, they didn't. But, you know, if we asked them, I bet they'd say that. So this is actually reminding me of a book that I read recently, The Bookshop Cinderella, where we have a man who is deciding to take it upon himself to turn her into the belle of the ball, like a Cinderella story. He's partly to blame for ruining her reputation, but I suppose he wants to try to make it right by helping her become the society lady of the season. So we'll see what happens and whether or not he's willing to part ways with her once he succeeds. I haven't had the pleasure of reading Victoria Alexander yet, but I have found several of these out and about for 50 cents a piece. Couldn't pass them up. Desires of a Perfect Lady. On the back, we have a secret list of the desires of Lady Olivia Rathbone. 1, disregard convention. 2, follow my heart. And 3, bed the Earl of Wildwood. And it appears in the step back that she is achieving her goals. And here we have also The Virgin's Secret. The secret is, this is a stunning step back. I love the sliver of moonlight in the background and the way that he is holding her, the motion that's being implied in the way that her hair is moving. Oh, it's just so beautiful. We actually can see that extra close in the back. I just love this. So apparently her secret is she's supposed to be a destitute orphan, but she isn't at all. But she is pretending to be one in order to infiltrate his house and get revenge for her brother. This sounds so cool. Now, I have given Stephanie Lawrence a try multiple times, and I have not found her writing to reach me the way that I would hope that it would. Having said that, I found some of her books recently that I was so enamored with. I thought, you know what? I think it's time to give her another try. So without further ado, I'm going to share with you some books by her that I just, oh my gosh, let's just look. All About Love. Oh my heavens, check this out. Is this not to die for? Again, we're talking about a moon, beach. Oh, the flowers in the background. What more can you want? I love the way he's holding her and the fabric, the way that it drapes both on her and him. Just heavenly. The story itself is sort of fascinating. His name is Lucifer. I'm surprised that's actually his name, but it is. He's also a spinster. If you know of Stephanie Lawrence, you're not surprised because there's like 5 million spinster novels. Okay, my children are coming home. Hold on one moment. Oh boy. In any case, we have a man who is supposed to marry this woman, although he's avoided it in the past. She doesn't want to marry him either, but I don't think she can stay away from his charms. I found this one to be so dear. This is 4 in hand. I like the cover, but I really fell in love with this step back. I love the way that he's holding her and just sort of caressing her face, and the way that she seems to be just so in the moment. Actually, both of them are. I just fell in love. They're also on the back cover. The interesting thing about this is she is supposed to be his ward. So, scandal. I'll leave you wanting more here. This is A Rogue's Proposal. I love the tagline on the front. He promised to wed her, but he never vowed to love her. And then on the inside, I love the lines that we see here as well. It was her face that held him, compelled him. The soft blue of her eyes, which I'm sure we're seeing reflected in this beautiful gown. Her lips were begging to be kissed. They were meant to be covered by a man's, by his. Oh, so good. Okay, so we're gonna see that same gentleman I mentioned earlier, that model, not Fabio, but I don't know his name, but we're gonna see him again in this book. All About Passion. I love this bridge. Oh my gosh, so gorgeous. We see the couple far in the distance embracing. Same couple, same bridge, same model from an earlier book that I mentioned. We have a castle in the background now, so we're seeing it from a different vantage point than we did on the cover. We also have some gorgeous flowers just sort of thrown around. I don't know how they would be growing there on the bridge, but you know what? Who cares about realism? Ooh, and you know what? There's the castle from another vantage point here. We get so many different views of this area, which I just love. Gentlemen who, you know what? I don't need to wear a shirt outside. It's a warm day. It's nice. Our hero here is very afraid of love, and he wants to take mistresses but just have the wife so he has an heir, but apparently the woman that he wants is also his wife, and it scares him to death. He's gonna come to terms with that, I believe, in this book. So here's my favorite one of the Stephanie Lawrence. First of all, check out this cover. So gorgeous. I love the horse-drawn carriage on a wicked dawn. Let's look inside. Here's that same model again, and we see the carriage. I just love this. Look at the sky. Look at her dress, the way that he's holding her. I I love even the ruffles on the bottom, how pretty. And this beautiful tree. Again, this guy doesn't need to wear a shirt outside. He's hot-blooded. Maybe he's part werewolf. We don't know. And oh my gosh, gotta show you this. So we've got the spine, which actually goes right into the back cover. Is this not so gorgeous? I'm so taken by the first paragraph of this summary where it says she asks him to marry her. He says yes and then passes out at her feet. But then he insists that they're not just going to have a marriage of convenience. He's going to woo her in public and private. Sounds great. Sign me up. Except for the passing out at the feet thing. I don't know what that is. Now I want to show you books by authors I know of, but haven't read yet. Fell in love so hard with the Stepbacks and the plots of these books, I had to snatch these up. I love this so much, and I thought of Crystal again. Sorry, Crystal, I'm mentioning you yet again for this book, One Little Sin. We have a man who, I'm going to tell you about this, and then I'm going to show you the step back. He has been with everybody, so he's not terribly surprised one day when a woman shows up with a new baby on his doorstep. Then I believe he asks that same woman to be this baby's governess. And then guess what? They fall in love. I was going on and on and on about Elizabeth Hoyt book where I fell in love partly with the hero as he was comforting a baby shirtless. And Crystal goes, the micro trope I didn't know I need, shirtless man comforting baby. Bingo! Here we are in the step back, shirtless man comforting baby who didn't know that they needed it. Yes, we all do. I think we do. It's so cute and comforting at the same time. I love it so much. I already knew Jane Feather had incredible stepbacks. I was able to nab one more, Hostage Bride. I'm still looking for all the books in the V series, which has all the books that start with the letter V, and those stepbacks are so incredible. I don't even think I need to read to you what this book is about because you basically see everything. We've got a castle, looks like a knight and a maiden. He's fighting. Oh, and it's got the moon here. A beautiful lady and a cute little puppy. What more do we need to know? I think this is going to be incredible. I would have loved a little less curtain and a little more painting, but you know what? We take what we can get. Everybody I know loves Kathleen E. Woodowis. I found this one to be fascinating. The Elusive Flame. So check this out. This is a cutout. We see a plantation home in the background set in the South. And then as we open it, there's very little other than this couple embracing. And I found it to be just fascinating. A woman in desperate straits, a daring man with a proposition, a marriage of convenience, or true love. You be the judge. I love Catherine Coulter's Stepbacks so much. I still haven't read her yet, but she's absolutely on my list to read ASAP. Here we have, it looks like a photograph, quite frankly, a man and a horse in this book, Pendragon. I love this picture of the gal on the back, but then of course it all comes together in the Stepback. We are on the seaside. See a field of beautiful flowers, and he is looking on as she is deep in the depths of thought. I love this so much. Julia London, the Book of Scandal. I don't really understand the idea. I mean, I guess it's so you know that there's definitely going to be a gorgeous step back, but I also love a little more of a cover. We take this off though to discover a couple embracing. We see most of their faces and some beautiful petals. London society will never be the same once the outrageous secrets of the Book of Scandal are revealed. And we have the Book of Scandal. Oh my gosh, I have no shame in telling you that part of the reason I'm so in love with this book is because I just think he's so cute. This is Karen Ranney, an American in Scotland. I am going crazy over this. Look how gorgeous he's gripping her. She's got the tartan there. He's so yummy. Oh, I love it so much. We got the beach in the background. And then this, I mean, I just died when I saw this. I thought, OMG, I have to have it. And look at how the border matches the tartan here. I love it so much. And I love her dress. The colors are perfection, and the way the waves are breaking on the shore. Oh my God. Will she say yes to his intoxicating desire? She better, or I'm going to go in that book and do it myself. This was another one I was completely blown away. Christina Sky, East of Forever. Look at the gorgeous jewelry, the flowers, everything's raised. Again, the gold lettering, we love it. And the gold border here. Check this out though. Again, we're going into 2 pages. We've got roses. He's holding her. It's so sweet. And I love the background, all the flowers. I love the lavender of the dress. Just lovely. I'm a little confused by his hair color, but I think it's just the painting in general. I love the vintage style. It's just lovely. They risked their lives to find a priceless book, only to discover treasure. Most dangerous and a star-crossed love. Yes, please. This is fascinating by Susan Wiggs. The Hostage. I've never seen one like this before. A gilded cage, ribbon coming out. Gee, I wonder what that's supposed to symbolize. Look at this. You can actually see like a map in the background. It's like topography. It's fascinating. And then we have a burning city in the background. October 8th, 1871. One small spark ignites the entire city of Chicago, sending its residents into panic, but amid the chaos, a chance encounter leads to an unexpected new love. Wow. Anyone in Chicago? Do they still dress like this? And now my final four. What already? I know, that's what you're thinking. These are authors I don't really have any context for. I do have a step back already, or couple, for Roxanne Becknell. This is another one that looks like a mirror, quite frankly. You can see the reflection of my hand. When lightning strikes, we've got a gorgeous fan. This is obviously set in the West. Check this out. Is this not incredibly gorgeous? I am blown away. We've got a storm coming. Of course, the lightning is striking. They're in a field. I am in heaven. We see a horse as well. It says drama all over it. She was an innocent beauty betrayed by unruly passions for the bounty hunter who abducted her body and soul. Wow. I am intrigued. Nora Hess, Winter Love. Look at this. Oh my gosh, there's the fire. This takes place during a Michigan blizzard, which, oh my gosh, so exciting. But I love the title and I love the snowflakes on the cover. Can you see what the light does to the cover? How much fun. I can't wait to share this again, winter of 25. Here's something I don't often see. I'll show you in the step back. The Sinful Nights of a Nobleman with a hairy chest. Anyway, we have a gorgeous scene. I love her gown. They were in a garden at night. We've got the moonlight up here. I love the embrace. I love the wind in her hair. It says that one night we have a lord who is on the prowl for a lady. She gets invited to a secret tryst at the stroke of 12. So in the middle of the night they meet. She's hoping to get married. Apparently though, the person that they meet in the garden is not who they expected. Color me intrigued. And now for my last book, Kimberly Cates's Magic. It's so pretty. I love this too. This is another one that I uncovered with Tara and Joanna. She is in present day and she winds up with essentially a ghost, a man who time travels from hundreds of years in the past in this castle. And of course they fall in love. Looks really good. Well, those were my books. I hope you had as much fun as I did. Did you see any that you read or want to read? Be sure to tell us anything you care to share in the comments below. You know we would all love to read them. And if you just want to leave an emoji, if there's a fountain or any kind of water emoji, go ahead and leave that because we can either pay homage to Mary Jo Putney's fountain step back or the fact that there was so much beautiful water and beach scenes in these step backs. So leave me one of those, see what you can find. I can't wait to see. I hope you're doing well. I hope you are enjoying whatever it is you're reading, whether it has a gorgeous step back or not. Until next time, thanks so much. Take care. Bye.